Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Hot Bite Reports, brought to you by Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest. I'm Lee Gould, filling in for John Bergsman this week, who's on vacation again. But we're going to start out this week with two great reports. The first one is Saginaw Bay with Steve Webb. We're actually going to talk a little bit further north in the bay than we have been talking up in the Standish area. And then the second report today is actually myself down in south central Michigan. So stay tuned for two great reports. So the first report this week is brought to us by Steve Webb, who's been out of the Standish area on Saginaw Bay. Now Steve, he did a great job with an awesome report. He has detailed this report right down to the hours that he's out there fishing. He's been out in the 23 to 27 foot range out in the flats off of Standish. One thing that he's saying is stay away from the packs. He tries to get like a quarter of a mile away from the groups of guys, be off by himself. So daylight to mid-morning, he has been jigging very aggressively with quarter-ounce spoons, specifically little Cleos, in blue chrome and orange chrome, tipped with a shiner. He's been jigging that very aggressively, long strokes, and then once he starts getting fish come in, then he starts shortening that up a little bit and finessing them up. They've been really aggressive for him in the morning and hitting really good. So then we move on to like 10 a.m. to late afternoon. What he's actually doing then is he's going to a 3-rod setup utilizing a dead stick, 6 millimeter Wolfram jig with a live minnow, keeping that about 6 to 12 inches off the bottom. What he's finding is a lot of the bigger females are cruising around the bottom midday, and they're coming in and they're hammering that dead stick for him. And then he's also using a buckshot to call in the fish from further away as they're less aggressive in the afternoon. And he's saying anything in the UV color has been hot. And then we move on to that late afternoon to dark. He's kind of going back to the same strategy as the morning. He's getting aggressive, utilizing some glide baits in there. So your jig and wraps, your rip and glides, those types of baits in the mix, tipped with a minnow head. And they're coming in the evening, they're hungry, and they're whacking a spoon and the glide baits. So we got some days, good days left out on the bay. So if you get an opportunity, get out there, get out of Standish, 23 to 27 foe, get away from the pack, and then I think you guys will have a great time.
Angler Quest Pontoons, family owned and operated, built by fishermen for fishermen, with all of the fishing features you need and models designed for specific species. With plenty of room and a center console, Angler Quest Pontoons are the ideal boat for the fisherman and the family man. For more information, check us out at www.anglerquestpontoons.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Angler Quest Pontoons.
So the second report today is actually myself. I've been out in Berry County. I've been staying with fishing some new lakes every time out this year. I went to a lake that I haven't fished through the ice in probably 5 to 6 years. Now the funny thing is I only live about 10 minutes away from that lake, but I just don't hit it a whole lot. What I have found this week is getting out there in the main lake basin, which is technically the river channel. We're talking Thornapple Lake in Berry County. It's a wide spot in the Thornapple River. So if you guys are familiar with it, there's kind of a basin that snakes through that lake. And I've been out just at the bottom of the drop in that basin, 5 millimeter tungstens, Fat Boy Jig tungstens. And I'm using that big of a tungsten just to get down because I'm fishing 30 foot. And I have about 5 foot of fish stacked in those holes the last 2 times that I went out. I went out Friday, and I've had no problem getting a limit, sorted through some smaller ones to keep a nice limit, and then I actually took my boys back out on Saturday because of the amount of fish that I had on Friday. I knew they'd have a great time out there. If you got some youngsters, that lake is loaded with panfish. If you get off into the main lake basin, 28 to 30 foot, get down there with a plastic, a wax worm, a spike, get it down there. They are stacked in that main lake basin right now. So good luck, everybody. Hopefully you can get out this week. We got plenty of good ice in the area left.
Damka Outdoors in Monroe is Southeast Michigan's one-stop sporting goods destination, featuring all your fishing needs, including live bait and the area's largest selection of custom-painted banded crankbaits. Damka Outdoors has a large selection of guns and ammunition, archery equipment, and supplies, as well as an archery service department and indoor archery range. Stop by today or shop our online store.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Hopefully you'll come back tomorrow. We'll have 2 more great reports for you.